The one-handed backhand is one of the most beautiful shots in tennis, but it also one of the most misunderstood. If your backhand lacks power, consistency, or topspin, or if you simply don't trust it under pressure, there's a good chance you are making one of more of the common mistakes we'll cover today. Welcome back to the most common tennis mistakes, the series where we break down the technical errors that hold amateur players back and show you exactly how to fix them. In today's episode, we'll analyze the most common mistakes players make on the one-handed backhand and compare them with the technique used by some of the best players in the world, so you can build a more reliable, more powerful, and more efficient stroke. If you haven't met before, I'm Thiago, and this is Next Level Tennis. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next episodes of this series. Every week, we'll learn practical, science-based tennis tips that you can take straight to the court to improve your game. Now, let's get started. The first mistake amateur players make on the one-handed backhand is one we've already seen in other strokes, either skipping the split step altogether or performing it with poor timing. As you can see on the left side of your screen, the amateur player returning serve has both feet on the ground at the exact moment his opponent makes contact with the ball. In general, this limits his ability to react explosively because he's unable to take advantage of the stretch shortening cycle of the leg muscles to push off efficiently toward the incoming serve. Now, compare the same moment with the players on the right side of your screen. Swiss professional Stan Wawrinka is airborne precisely as his opponent strikes the ball. This perfect timing allows him to land just after contact and load his legs efficiently, adjust his positioning, and react to the serve with far greater speed and balance. So, no matter how good your stroke mechanics are, if your footwork is late, your backhand will always be compromised. So make sure your split step begins just before your opponent makes contact, allowing you to land immediately after contact. Mastering this timing will dramatically improve your movement, balance, and the quality of your one-handed backhand. The second mistake many amateur players make, and one that significantly reduces the power of their one-handed backhand, is the position of the racket during the preparation phase. Take a look at the amateur player. As he begins his unit turn, he keeps the racket around waist level. Now compare that with Stan Wawrinka's preparation. Notice how his racket is set much higher, approximately at head height. When we place both players side by side, the difference becomes obvious. The biggest advantage of copying Wawrinka's preparation is that it allows you to use gravity to your advantage. By starting with the racket higher, you naturally create a deeper racket drop, allowing the racket to accelerate more easily into the ball with less muscular effort. Another key difference is how each player uses the non-dominant arm during the preparation. The amateur player keeps the non-hitting elbow low throughout the unit turn, while Stan Wawrinka points his non-hitting elbow toward the back fence, with his non-dominant arm raised to approximately shoulder height. This position helps keep the racket higher during the backswing, allowing for a deeper racket drop. As a result, the racket accelerates more naturally under the influence of gravity, producing greater racket rate speed and more power with less effort. So, if you want a heavier and more effortless one-handed backhand, focus on preparing with the racket higher and make better use of your non-dominant arm during the unit turn. And now, before we move on to the final tips that will help you learn or fix your one-handed backhand, if you're finding this lesson helpful, I'd really appreciate if you could take a second to hit the like button. It may seem like a small gesture, but for us content creators, every like, comment, and share makes a huge difference. It helps YouTube recommend our videos to more tennis players, allowing us to continue growing this amazing community. So, if you've already done that, thank you very much. And if you're looking for more personalized coaching to take your game to the next level, I'd be happy to help. If you like to improve your technique, you can book a stroke analysis. Simply send me a video of your stroke and I will provide a detailed biomechanical analysis comparing your technique side by side with a pro, highlighting exactly what you need to improve. But if your goal is to become a smarter player tactically, you can also send me clips from your matches for a strategy analysis. I'll break down your decision making, point construction, positioning, and shot selection, showing you the best ways to attack, defend, and win more points. And if you're just getting started in tennis, or you're thinking about changing rackets but have no idea which one fits your game, I also offer a racket consultancy. I'll help you choose the racket that best matches your current level, playing style, and long term goals. Finally, if you're enjoying looking sharp both on and off the court, you have to check out the Next Level Tennis Apparel collection. Our premium t-shirts and hoodies were designed by tennis players for tennis players, combining comfort, style, and a passion for the game. If you're interested in any of these services or products, you'll find all the links in the video description and the pinned comment below. I'd love to help you take your tennis to the next level. Now, we've reached the final 3 mistakes that are limiting the one-handed backhand of so many amateur players. The first one involves the racket face position during the racket drop. Take a look at the amateur player. As he drops the racket, he keeps the racket straight up and down, almost as if you could balance a coin on the edge of the racket frame. This isn't the ideal position because it makes it much harder to produce the optimal swing path needed for both heavy topspin and consistent ball control. Instead, copy the position used by Stan Wawrinka. Notice how his racket face is slightly closed, with the strings pointing slightly to the left and toward the court, since he's a right-handed player. This subtle adjustment puts the racket in the ideal position to approach the ball from underneath, allowing you to brush up the back of the ball more efficiently and generate significantly more topspin without sacrificing control. Another very common mistake, and one that can even increase your risk of injury, is making contact with a bent arm. Take a look at the amateur player. After contact and into the follow-through, you can still see a slight bend in his hitting elbow. To create a solid, stable contact point, it's essential that you meet the ball slightly in front of and to the side of your body, with your hitting arm fully extended, just as Stan Wawrinka does. This creates a much stronger hitting structure, allowing your arm to absorb and redirect pace more efficiently, especially when you're dealing with faster, heavier shots. Finally, pay attention to your finish. At the end of the stroke, try to create a well-defined diagonal line between both arms, just like Wawrinka. This is an excellent visual checkpoint that confirms that you follow the correct swing path, helping you produce a one-handed backhand that is both powerful and loaded with heavy topspin. If you found this lesson helpful, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next episodes of the most common tennis mistakes. And if you missed any of the previous videos in this series, click on the playlist that's on your screen right now and watch every episode. Each lesson covers a different stroke and the most common mistakes that prevent amateur players from reaching their full potential. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which shot gives you the most trouble? Or what tennis topic would you like me to cover in a future video? Leave your suggestion in the comments below. Your idea might become the next lesson here on the channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Thiago and this is Next Level Tennis, tennis that actually works. I'll see you in the next video.